Welcome back to Reviews on the Run. We are having a glorious summer day here in Vancouver, right on the water. It's the perfect location to talk about Deadlight, a creepy new summer of arcade game for Xbox Live Arcade. What'd you think?
Yeah, guess what? It's always raining in this game. It's set in the Pacific Northwest. That's where we shoot the show, up here in British Columbia and Vancouver. It's set specifically in Seattle, a post-apocalyptic Seattle. I love saying the words post-apocalyptic. Isn't it fun to say?
It's great, and I love saying Seattle, too. There aren't enough games or fictional constructs that are set in the Pacific Northwest.
Yeah, this stars a guy named Randall Wayne. He's got a nice little watch cap on. I love those little like sailor hats. He's got a rain trench coat on. He looks kind of like he's on a detective mission, but actually
a little Batman-esque. And it was a little weird that he kept being called Wayne.
Mr. Wayne. Yeah. There is a character named Harry the Rat in the game who keeps referring to him as Mr. Wayne. I thought the same thing. Certainly some Bat fans on Tequila Works. These are the guys who built this game.
We would all be dead by now because of your little sister.
I don't know what they're doing. These are Spanish guys, but they've built a game that is set in the Pacific Northwest.
I think that's great. It's going to be an exotic location for them, and it felt kind of cool and authentic. You see the Space Needle, you see demolished downtown core of Seattle, you meet characters that are from Vancouver, which was a treat for me. It's definitely kind of a collection of ideas and concepts that we've seen in Limbo and in Shadow Complex.
How long can we make it through this review without saying the word Limbo? We did pretty well.
It's all in shadow, right? And it's very noirish and very pulpy, which I love. And it's definitely got some of that same kind of combat vibe that you got in Shadow Complex. You're dealing with zombies. They call them shadows in the game, which I thought was an excellent term for the baddies.
I love how they have those little red eyes, and sometimes you'll see one sitting on the ground, and all of a sudden the red eyes will blink to life, and they'll stand up and they'll start chasing after you. And that's one of my favorite parts of the game, is when you do run from the zombies, and you predominantly do run from them. You do have some combat moves. You have an axe, and you have a gun, and you have a slingshot, and a couple other things, a kick move. But mostly what you want to do is run. My favorite part is when the zombies chase you and then get stuck behind something. You just see their arms flailing back there.
All kinds of traps. You can electrocute them. You can drop stuff on them. I love the athleticism of this game. I love it. I love the leaping. It feels a little Blade Runner-esque almost, you know, in the pelting rain, and you're leaping from one dead, sputtering neon sign to the next. I thought that was so cool.
This is a funny thing, though. We recently played Uncharted Golden Abyss on the Vita, and I thought that some of my sense of vertigo, my sense of danger of hanging above these precipices was gone. It's back in this game. My palms were sweating all over the place when I'm playing this thing. I'm like, am I going to make it? Am I going to make this one? And that breathless quality is so thrilling.
It made me think of Uncharted as well. It made me think that a 2D Uncharted would be a very cool game to play.
Now, obviously, none of this works without some super tight gameplay mechanics. And for the most part, they're on point. It doesn't always work 100% of the time. But still, the story is so good. The characters are so beautifully rich and well drawn. The art is so beautiful that you keep playing. Even when the gameplay does frustrate you, you keep going.
This is a refreshing, great diversion for the summertime. What are you going to give Deadlight?
Absolutely a 9.5 for me.
9 from me.